Hi everyone, I am Karaosmanoglu from University of Hamburg, and today I will present a paper that I co-authored with Sebastian Cmentowski, Lennart Nacke, and Steinicke. ExerCube versus virtual reality. Physical activity greatly reduces the risk of severe common illnesses and is particularly important for older adults. And by 2050, the global population of older adults is expected to reach 1.5 billion. This situation highlights the importance of supporting older adults to remain active and to have independent and happy life. Therefore, following the recommendations of the World Health Organization, we focused on understanding the needs of older adults and designing as well as developing exergames for them. As an exemplary, we target technical immersion here. Recently, we are seeing an increasing variety of technologies, and we call some of them more immersive than others, for example, virtual reality games. But what exactly meant by technical immersion? Technical immersion concerns a system's technical quality and capabilities. And previous works agrees that a system can be considered technically immersive if it provides at least a head-dependent stereoscopic view of the virtual world that exceeds the player's field of view without requiring more than head-based input. And we know that younger adults perform better and enjoy the experience more when they play the exergames with more immersive technologies. However, like most of the research in the field of HCI, this result is based on the studies conducted with younger adults. Yet, older adults have different technological requirements. For most, this population grow up in a non-digital world. Secondly, they experience age-related change in their abilities that can affect their experience and performance outcomes. Recently, a lot of attention has been put on how to improve exergaming experiences. For example, the ExerCube system that consists of 3 projection walls and a motion tracking system have been proposed to rate aspects like immersiveness and visual fidelity with a higher usability compared to VR head-mounted base systems. This system has started to be used in senior living facilities as well. Accordingly, focusing on 2 highly contrasting display systems, virtual reality head-mounted display and ExerCube, we ask, how does the technical immersion of an exergame system affect older adults' player experience and performance? Our research began with the design and development of a game that users could play using both virtual reality head-mounted display and ExerCube. Our game design was driven by human-centered design approach and included numerous iterative testings with movement experts and end users. The game featured a winter theme and involved cognitive as well as physical tasks in 3 game levels. Let's look at the setup now. Here we see a VR player, and in the VR condition of the game, players were equipped with a head-mounted display to view the virtual world and wore 2 wrist-attached controllers to interact with virtual objects in the game. In the ExerCube version, players again wore the wrist-attached controllers, but this time experienced the game on ExerCube. I would like to note here that in both versions of the game, the physical environments were identical, so basically played within the same physical space to ensure comparability between the 2 setups. Overall, this was the final version of the game. So at the beginning, players completed an interactive tutorial before each level. In the first level, here you see, they collected green snowflakes with either of their hands. Now we see the identical game level in the ExerCube version. The second game level introduces cognitive tasks. Now players have to catch yellow snowflakes with their left hand and catch blue snowflakes with their right hand. In the last level, we introduce a new concept of ordering the numbers. Players catch the snowflakes in the right order. With the game ready, we conducted a within participants user study with 34 older adults. In the study, we collected questionnaire, movement, baseline and gameplay, heart rate, and interview data. Now let's look at the results. To note here, we used KIM to measure game enjoyment, PXI for overall player experience, and PACES for the physical activity enjoyment. And when we look at the graphs, we see that participants rated both conditions similarly and with high scores. When we look at the IPQ, which is a measure of presence in virtual environments, we see that participants experience significantly higher presence in all IPQ subcategories in virtual reality condition compared to the ExerCube condition. However, interestingly, they moved significantly more in the ExerCube version. And in terms of objective exertion, both exergaming setups led to comparable, yet significantly increased exertion compared to baseline measurement. Our thematic analysis provided also interesting insights. For example, we found that in the VR conditions, some players felt more active due to the low field of view of virtual reality head-mounted display. They felt like they have to move more to see around. However, a few found the virtual reality head-mounted version more strenuous because they had to orientate themselves more and see where they were standing. So our main takeaways from this study was that unlike younger adults, for older adults, higher technical immersion did not translate to higher player experience or higher performance. Even lower technical immersion resulted in higher physical activity and game performance. This emphasized the importance of considering the needs and requirements of older people and using systems to meet these needs. We also found that some features of virtual reality head-mounted displays make the game inherently more challenging than the ExerCube for older adults, such as limited field of view, limited depth perception in VR, in particular when they are also combined with cognitive and physical tasks. With this research, we also identified benefits and drawbacks with the technologies. For example, the ExerCube requires significantly more physical space and financial investment compared to using virtual reality head-mounted display. Yet it also encouraged older adults to be more active and feel safer while moving. In contrast, virtual reality head-mounted displays provide higher sense of presence, do not require complex room setups, and are more cost-effective. Therefore, we recommend using these systems based on the main goal an application is targeting. Thank you for listening to my talk. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions.